Axiata Group subsidiary Boost Holdings and RHB Banking Group have signed a heads of agreement to form a consortium to apply for a digital banking license. Axiata said Boost would own a majority stake of 60% in the digital bank JV, while RHB would hold the rest, with a minimum issued share capital of 100 million ringgit. Both parties will seek to expand on Boost's extensive fintech experience developed through Aspirasi, its microfinancing and microinsurance provider, and the Boost e-wallet. They aim to increase financial inclusion to the underserved and unserved, which includes micro-entrepreneurs, SMEs and those in the gig economy. During a virtual briefing, Axiata President and Group CEO Dato' Izzaddin Idris says the group will be injecting Aspirasi's loan book into the venture if the consortium is successful in securing the license. According to Izzaddin, the deadline for submission is June 30th, but it will take Bank Negara about 18 months to decide on the award. RHB Group MD and CEO Dato' Khairul Ramli says the potential digital bank venture would serve as an extension of the bank's digital transformation program, a core component of its Fit 22 strategy. He says that RHB could attempt to go into the segment alone, but that would require the bank to start looking at new technology stacks, and that would take a long time. While the parties have yet to submit their joint application for the license, Izzaddin says the digital bank will be ready to commence operations as soon as it secures the license. The Malaysia Shopping Malls Association says workers are expected to pay a reduced charge of 50 ringgit for on-site COVID-19 vaccinations after malls agreed to subsidise the cost of the exercise. In a statement, PPK said it estimates the cost of providing the vaccination centre will amount to 100 to 150 per person, depending on the volume. It was decided that the mall shall largely subsidise these costs and be allowed to charge merely 10 ringgit per dose or 20 ringgit per participant. However, PPK says Protect Health Corp, which provide the medical staff, will charge participants an additional 30 ringgit, bringing the total charge to 50 ringgit. PPK says the initiative has garnered an enthusiastic response from its members and retailers, with more than 50 malls expressing interest to host these centres. As at June 1st, a total of 1.1 million have completed 2 doses, while 2 million have received 1 dose. Malaysia recorded 7,703 new COVID-19 cases today, but more dishearteningly, deaths hit triple digits, with some 126 fatalities recorded, a record high. There were also 5,777 recoveries. Spanish oil and gas company Repsol has agreed to sell its exploration and production assets in Malaysia and in Block 46CN in Vietnam to a wholly owned unit of Hibiscus Petroleum. This confirms a report in The Edge Malaysia which said that Repsol had hired an international investment bank to assist with the sale. Hibiscus's counter is currently suspended pending a material announcement. However, the Spanish firm did not reveal the price tag of the deal. In a statement, Repsol said that the sale of its upstream assets in Malaysia and the in Block 46CN in Vietnam is part of its efforts to streamline its presence from 25 to 14 core countries. This would allow it to focus on geographic areas with the greatest competitive advantages. In total, the assets that Repsol are selling represent 2% of its global current net output. This move follows the sale of the company's producing assets in Russia, the cessation of oil production activities in Spain, and the exit from exploratory activity in other countries. Serba Dynamic Holdings Group MD and CEO Dato' Dr. Muhammad Abdul Karim Abdullah has raised his stake in the oil and gas services player. The beleaguered company had seen its counter undergo a 2-day roller coaster where it saw its shares hit limit down twice. According to a June 1st BOS filing, Abdul Karim had acquired 5 million shares via the open market on Monday, raising his stake to 27.07%. After 2 days of heavy bleeding, Serba Dinamik's stock price rebounded somewhat today to 87.5 cents. However, it still ultimately closed 1.2% down at 83 cents and was the second most actively traded stock on the bourse, with 418 million shares changing hands. Serba Dynamic has been under an uncomfortable spot spotlight ever since its ongoing issues with external auditors KPMG came to light last week. Reuters reported key investor Pemodelan Nasional as saying that it was deeply concerned by developments at Serba Dynamic. The fund manager said that it had informed Serba Dynamic's board about its concern and added that there is no merit in removing the appointed auditor before the annual audit is complete. PNB adds that it reserves the right to vote against any resolution to replace the current auditor. Perusahaan Automobil Nasional's vehicle sales dropped 37% to 9,440 units in May compared with April. This tracks Malaysia's total industry volume decline of about 20%. Proton says the dip in May sales was due to chip shortages and the implementation of the MCO in the middle of the month. Proton EDA CEO Roslan Abdullah says that despite most industry players having healthy order books, most brands struggled to meet demand. He says Proton's numbers were high enough to retain second overall in sales tables, and it received a welcome boost from its export division, which set a 98-month high despite shipping restrictions. Moving forward, Proton says it will utilize the MCO break to retool its sales plan for the rest of 2021. Roslan says that while the current MCO will push back some of its new model launch dates, Proton remains committed to meeting its launch targets.